This is Ken Cycle, and I'd like to welcome you to our Create a Restaurant skill. We're going to build it in Storyline today, and there is content below that you can paste into the skill. And if you have any questions, please leave them below as well. Enjoy. In Storyline, to create a new skill, we just select the Create Skill option in the upper right hand. This is going to be a new custom skill, so we'll continue. We're going to use no template today. There are some other templates that you can explore on your own, but for our Ken's Diner example, we'll use the no template option. And Storyline creates for you several different blocks, what they call, which is essentially a template. We'll upload our template to Amazon. This usually takes a minute or two, so I will step away and come back in a minute when it is done. Okay, in our Alexa Developer Console, we can see that we had a successful build and our skill is here. We can now just go into our skill and edit it. Once we're in our skill, we can clearly see from the Skill Builder checklist that everything has been created successfully. Therefore, we can just go over to the test option. Testing is already enabled for us, so all we have to do is open our skill. Open Ken's Diner.
Welcome to Ken's Diner.
Okay, so our Ken's Diner template has been successfully uploaded to our developer console. We now have a functioning skill, and we will come back and edit the skill with our content and information. We are back in Storyline where we're going to update our Ken's Diner template with the content for our skill. I have the content here in a Word document. The content has also been copied to the information below, so you can find all of it and just copy it rather than having to type it in. The welcome block is part of the template. We can go ahead then and add our main navigation by creating a new block and pasting in our text into what Alexa would say. This is our navigation block, so we'll title it appropriately. That is saved. And now we need to connect our block to the welcome. So we will add navigation after where it says welcome to Ken's Diner. This arrow points to the next block or the next step. And we'll choose from the drop down and grab our navigation block. Now, after the welcome, it'll execute the navigation block. And the navigation block will say, would you like to listen to our story, know our location and hours, or hear our menu? Because we are asking a question, what we need to do then is gather the response from the user. That's utilizing this next option, what the user says, and the user will respond with story, hours, or menu. In addition, Storyline has this great feature down here of how to handle an unexpected reply. And if the user replies with something other than story, hours, or menu, we will just loop this back around to our navigation block so that way we can re-ask the question. Now that our navigation block is done, we can start filling in some of the content. And from our options here of what the user might say, we'll basically be putting in the answers. So for story, we will create a new block. We'll entitle it story. And we'll copy in the text that I've supplied, make life a little easier, and put that into what Alexa would say. And we'll have our response. And from hours, we'll do the same thing. We'll create a new block, entitle it location in hours. Copy in our text. And save it. And then finally, we'll go on to our menu. Create a menu block. Copy in the content that I have. And we'll have what Alexa says. Let's take a look at the navigation of our skill. If you recall, our skill started with our welcome block. We added in the navigation, and from the navigation, we had the option to select story, hours, or menu, so we could go to either one of those options. However, what has happened here is once we've reached the end where we've heard the story, we're kind of at a dead end. So what we need to do now is loop back to our navigation block so that way we can continue using this skill. So let's pull up our story, and after that text is read, we'll go to another step or block. We'll go back to our navigation block where we can ask the user if they'd like any additional information. We'll also do that for the location and hours. Again, go back to the navigation block. However, we won't do that for the menu because in our menu, we have another option or choice for the user to select. Here it says we serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Which menu can I get for you? Here we'll add in what the user can respond with, and that is breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So again, we'll add what the user says and add in breakfast. Lunch. And dinner. And we'll come back and fill those in another step. But before we get too far, what we want to do is update our skill and check it out in our developer console. So we'll move on over to the developer console and see the progress that we've made. We're back in the Alexa Developer Console, As you can see, our build was successful, and you can test within Storyline. However, I prefer to do it over here. It just gives you, I think, better results and makes it a little easier for you. So here we'll just open our skill, open Ken's Diner.
Welcome to Ken's Diner. Would you like to listen to our story, know our location and hours, or hear our menu?
Story.
Ken's Diner is a family-owned and operated restaurant. Ken started this restaurant 5 years ago and considers everyone who comes through the doors family. You will always receive a warm greeting at Ken's Diner, and if you are a regular, you will see Ken's kids, nephews, nieces, as well as a cousin or two working here. Would you like to listen to our story, know our location and hours, or hear our menu?
So here we can see that it successfully looped back to the menu block. So that way we can continue the skill and didn't run into a dead end. So here we'll continue with hours. Hours.
We are located at 123 Main Street, and we are open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Would you like to listen to our story, know our location and hours, or hear our menu?
Again, our loop back is working correctly, and we can move on to menu.
We serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Which menu can I get for you?
Now here we didn't put anything in, so again we're at a dead end and we need to fill in the rest of the information. So we will go back to Storyline and fill in some additional information. We're back in Storyline, where our restaurant, Ken's Diner skill, is really starting to take shape. And where we left off was with the menu, and we'll continue with adding in information about what is available for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. We've got this information included below, so you can just copy and paste. I'm getting it from my Word doc. So if we go to breakfast, we'll do the same thing we did before with our navigation block. If the user says breakfast, we will go to a new block. We'll call that breakfast. And what Alexa will say, we'll paste that in. And now that we're familiar with the process, we know that when she's done, we will circle back. And here we can circle back to the menu, which will kind of keep us stuck in that menu option, or we can go back to the navigation, which means we'll have an additional step to go through. But I think I like that option better. So we'll add that in and continue that approach with lunch and dinner. So I'll just do that offline to save some time, and then we'll come back in just a second when I'm done. Okay, so I've added in the content for lunch and dinner. You see we have these additional blocks here. All of our blocks are returning us back to the navigation, so we'll be able to go anywhere within the skill from each one of these options, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Same goes for story and location. So right now we have really finished up the heart of our skill. We're back in the developer console, and we will test out our skill and see if it's functioning the way we expect. Open Ken's Diner.
Welcome to Ken's Diner. Would you like to listen to our story, know our location and hours, or hear our menu?
Listen to your story.
Ken's Diner is a family-owned and operated restaurant. Ken started this restaurant 5 years ago and considers everyone who comes through the doors family. You will always receive a warm greeting at Ken's Diner, and if you are a regular, you will see Ken's kids, nephews, nieces, as well as a cousin or two working here. Would you like to listen to our story, know our location and hours, or hear our menu?
Hours.
We are located at 123 Main Street, and we are open from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. daily. Would you like to listen to our story, know our location and hours, or hear our menu?
Menu.
We serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Which menu can I get for you?
Breakfast.
For breakfast we have eggs, any way you want, with hash browns and toast. We also have pancakes, waffles, or French toast, short or tall stacks. Finally, omelets, made to order. Would you like to listen to our story, know our location and hours, or hear our menu?
Menu.
We serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Which menu can I get for you?
Lunch.
For lunch we have burgers, veggie burgers and chicken burgers. We also have house and Caesar salads in the soup of the day. Would you like to listen to our story, know our location and hours, or hear our menu?
Menu.
We serve breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Which menu can I get for you?
Dinner.
Our dinner is always the chef's choice, made from locally grown products. Would you like to listen to our story, know our location and hours, or hear our menu?
End.
Come back tomorrow to play the experience again. Just say, "Alexa, open Ken's Diner," to open the skill again.
I'm back in storyline where I'm just going to do a little bit of cleanup here. I really didn't like the way you had to go back to the navigation block and then to menu over and over again if you were coming from breakfast, lunch, or dinner. So what I can do here is add a couple more options as to what the user says, and in the main menu or main navigation block, add breakfast menu, dinner menu, lunch menu, so that way you could go directly to that information. So I'll add those in. I'll do that offline. And that concludes our video for creating the Ken Diner skill. If you have questions or comments, please leave them below and stay tuned. We will have more videos on Alexa skill development coming up soon.